If you want to know how to make compost like this when it looks like this outside, then stick around because we're going to show you how. Let's go back to organics. So here's the container that we use. We actually got two of these. We bought some trees a while back, and these were the pots that the trees actually came in. At the bottom here you can see that there's some big holes for drainage that the tree actually used to drain normally, and these just help the compost to drain as well. We use two mason jars to collect our food scraps and eggshells and things in. We actually keep them in the fridge while we're collecting them, and when they get full is when we actually add them to the compost bin. So here we are actually starting the compost bin. We started the bin in late January, early February. It looked nice outside and we just wanted to start composting. We started it with a lot of lettuce and carrots, as you can see. We also started it with a lot of paper. Here's a picture of my daughter helping me add some shredded up newspaper and some cardboard into the bin as we are layering up the different materials. After we got all the cardboard and everything in there, we topped it all off with some leaves that we had got out of the back of our truck that had been blown in there during the fall and had been sitting in there all winter. We just scraped them up and topped it all off with some nice wet leaves. Since it was still well below freezing outside, this is the closet that we actually kept the bin in to try to keep it warm. And after about a month, this is what the bin looked like after a month of sitting in our closet. As you can see, there's still some unbroken down leaves, and deeper in there was actually little balls of wadded up newspaper and chunks of cardboard that had just turned into little pebbles like balls of newspaper rather than actually decomposing. They just rolled into these balls. So I actually found this tool in the concrete department at your local hardware store. You attach this to a drill, and I was using this originally without the bolts to try to grind up the compost, and it wasn't working very well, so I ended up getting some bolts that you use on a fence, like some galvanized fencing, chain link fencing, and I put the bolts through the holes and used that to actually grind the compost up, and it actually worked really well. So this is actually what I sift my compost with. I actually got this at a thrift store. This is typically used to put on the grill and grill like vegetables and things in, but it has about 1/4-inch holes, and it's just perfect for straining small amounts of compost. I use this and just strain it into like a little tote, and it strains out just the perfect size of compost for me. Here's another picture of what the compost looked like after I had strained it. So after straining, I actually put my compost into a 5-gallon bucket that I just get from a hardware store, and I put it in there just so that it can stay active and just continue to break down, and I don't have to use it immediately. Also, you can tell from these pictures that the grass is yet to really come in, so this was probably in about middle of March. This hasn't been that long, so maybe about a month and a half, 2 months of composting this stuff. And I actually got quite a bit of compost, at least one entire 5-gallon bucket of compost out of this already, and it was only in the middle of March. In this photo, the grass has actually turned quite green, so this is about the middle of April, and I'm using that tote in the middle to actually turn and stir the compost. I have the two black buckets on either side of me. One of them had the compost in it previously, and I'm stirring it and going to put it into the new other black bucket. I just flip-flop between each black bucket and just stir in new contents and new things I'm adding to it, and I just kind of aerate it in that square tote as I do that. So as you can tell, I don't know if you can see it very well, but the compost is actually looking quite good. I actually probably should strain it again. I'm just being quite lazy and haven't got around to it yet. And this is what it looks like right now. Today, this is the first week of May. This is just the top of it, obviously. I'm just stirring it around a little bit just to let you see the top. I'm going to dump it out here in just a second and let you kind of see a little bit more of what's deeper inside of it. This thing is really, really heavy.
What a stinks. Smells like butt coffee.
Coffee.
Smells like butt coffee.
Has leaves, a lot of leaf stems. It's actually looking pretty good. Still really, really hot. Get a little bit of a layer in there. I don't know if you can see the steam coming out of the new bucket. Add a little bit more broccoli. Okay. I figured out what these are. This is an artichoke. Artichoke leaves. Anyway, here's a nice big banana peel. Throw that in there. And banana peel on top. More artichoke. A lot of coffee grounds in here. You can see the steam coming off of this. So here's just some of the compost that I've got out of my bin so far. As you can see, though, it's well worth it to start a bin even in the middle of winter. It's amazing what you can get, even if it's freezing outside, even if it's snow on the ground, even in small quantities. You don't need to have a massive compost heap in order to get compost. It doesn't need to heat up to these really high temperatures. Even a small little bucket can do it. So you can start it anywhere, even in an apartment, on a balcony, anywhere. So it's never too late to start to compost. So stop throwing away all that organic waste and just start throwing it into a bucket and start making your own compost. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more organic gardening tips and how-tos.